Hi, this is Érika from a small robot studio. In today's quick tip, I'm gonna show you how to create a braid in Nomad Sculpt. First, at the bottom, I'm gonna turn on the grid. Then I'm gonna head to the scene menu and delete this sphere. Now on the top right, I'm gonna switch my camera to the perfect front by tapping on the snap cube. Even better, I'm gonna tap and hold so I can lock that view. This is gonna allow me to zoom in and pan, but it won't let me rotate. Now I'm gonna select the tube tool with path as my creation method. Using the grid as a reference, I'm gonna tap and drag to create 2 points. And then tap on the green dot to create the geometry. Excellent. I'm gonna zoom out a bit so I have more grid to work with. I'm gonna extend this, tap in the middle to create a point, and move it to the side. For now, I'm gonna tap on all these dots so they turn black and I have sharp corners. Adding extra points, I'll create a zigzag. You can make this as long as you want. Next, I'm gonna add 2 points between each section. Try to keep this as equally distributed as possible. Excellent! Let's tap on the snap cube again to unlock this view, and now we are gonna rotate to a side view. And once again, lock the camera. This next part can be a bit confusing, so make sure that you are looking closely. I'm gonna skip the first dot, select the second one, and move it to one side. Now select the next one and move it to the other side. Skip, side, side. Perfect. If you're wondering if you did this correctly, the best way to know is to unlock our camera and go to a bottom view. The pattern we just created would look like an infinite or a sideways 8. Let's go back to a front view. I'm gonna tap once on all my points to turn them into curves. If needed, make adjustments. The zigzag of my front view got a bit wonky. Now at the top, I'm gonna select B-spline. This is gonna give me much nicer curves. And if I unlock the camera, you can see how this is flowing a lot more naturally than before. Excellent. Head back to the front view and select the gizmo tool. On the left, look for pivot and select center. Now I'm gonna head to my scene menu and to add. And I'm gonna select a curve repeater. At the top, I'm gonna set the count to 3. And I'm gonna use this curve controller to define the offset. I'm gonna move it up until the negative space looks equal between all of them. Perfect. I'm gonna tap on any curve. And I'm gonna select the radius controller to chunk them up. Great! We got a braid, but we can make it look even better. But before I tell you how, I want to take a moment to thank the amazing people that support the channel via Patreon. You peeps are truly amazing. Thank you so much. All our supporters gain access to a growing library of assets that include the models that we create on our tutorials. Learn more about it at patreon.com/smallrobotstudio. Alright, let's take this braid to the next level. On the top floating menu, I'm gonna tap on Profile. And in this window, I'm gonna activate Show in Viewport. This shape that we have here is gonna define the shape of the tube. You can edit it on this 2D view or even on the 3D view, which can be useful if you wanna avoid clipping. I can use this button to go into full view. I'm gonna create an interesting shape to make this strands look a lot more stylized. I'll keep this as a diamond shape with rounded corners. And to make it look a bit more like hair, I'm gonna add some subtle indentations. I'm pretty happy with this. Now I'm gonna tap on the 3 dots to see the topology options, and I'm gonna lower this number as much as possible. And I'm gonna bring post subdivision into 1 or even 2. hide the manipulators and just make sure that you can see the amount of detail that you want. Now I'm gonna head to the scene menu and I'm gonna tap on both checkboxes, the curve and the tube. On the top floating menu, I will tap on validate, select on instance and confirm. You're gonna have a new group with 3 different curves. Unlike before, now they are independent from each other. I'm gonna manually polish the start and the end, first getting rid of the extra points. Once you have cleaned this up, for each strand, tap on radius so you'd have a different size for the beginning and end. This taper will make your braid look a lot more natural. You'll just have to make subtle adjustments so it doesn't look too loose. If you tap yet again on radius, you're gonna get a controller for every single point. I'm gonna use this just for the tips. I always wait until everything else is on, otherwise it's so many points that this becomes madness. Now I could add a little cylinder with a hole as an elastic holding this braid together. Just make sure that that cylinder is not sitting inside that group. Nice! This braid looks super cool, but it's kind of stiff. What if my character is in a pose? For the very last thing, I'm gonna clone it and hide it, just so I have a backup. I'm gonna select my group and I'm gonna tap on join. This is going to validate the tubes, so we're gonna lose the ability to edit them like we had before. I'm gonna head to the multi-resolution menu. I'm gonna activate wire so I can see the topology. And I'm gonna tap on reverse until Nomad doesn't let me do it anymore. This will give me several resolution levels. I'm gonna go to the lowest one. The first easy solution is to grab the move tool, head to the stroke menu on the tab filter and turn off connected topology. Make this brush really big in relationship to the braid and move it. You'll have to adjust the cylinder, of course. This will allow you subtle adjustments. If you want a bit more control, you're gonna use a selection mask with lasso creation method. Open the mask menu, blur a bunch of times, many times. Invert, use gizmo and make a slight modification and adjust. Clear your mask and we're gonna repeat this several times. Once you have the shape that you want, simply go back to the topology menu and bring your resolution back. And we are done! As always, don't hesitate to share your work. I'm always excited to see your creations and what you have learned from this channel. Anyway, I'll see you soon in a new tutorial. Happy sculpting! That's it for this tutorial. If you find it useful, make sure that you leave a like so other people can find it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, as we are bringing out CG and illustration tutorials every week. Become a patron and access tutorial assets, bonus content, a private Discord, and more by clicking in the link below.